Hey guys, so today I have swatches of 6 new polishes from Native War Paints Classic Essentials. This is kind of an offshoot of Native War Paints. They are less expensive, more like basic kind of cream and shimmer colors. So these released on November 28th, so I will link the website down below where you guys can check those out because they are available right now. There are 6 polishes in this collection and I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called Tiffany, and this is kind of a pinky nude with a gold shimmer. I'm refilming this one bottle shot because I did forget to mention in the intro that these are all created, thought up, and named by Mrs. White 8907 on Instagram. She actually swatches for 90. She does really, really awesome swatches. I'll link her Instagram account down below so you guys can check those out. So she inspired and kind of thought up and named this entire collection. And the official name of the collection, which I also didn't have when the intro was filmed, is Mrs. White's Winter Essentials, which obviously makes a lot more sense now that we know that she was behind them. So here's one coat. This one is a bit sheer on the first coat, but the shimmer stands out really, really nicely. It's a very strong shimmer. Formula on this one is good. Smooth, easy to apply. I feel like it is a little bit on the thin side for me, but I tend to prefer thicker formulas. So here's 2 coats. This one is actually opaque in 2 coats, which I wasn't really expecting because of how sheer it was on the first, so it did build up really nicely. It does look like it dries matte. It's a little bit hard to tell because of all the shimmer, but I'm pretty sure it dries fully matte, so you will want a top coat. So there is 2 coats of Tiffany. The next polish is called Alison, and this is kind of like an icy, almost grayish blue with a very strong silver shimmer. So here's one coat. This one is also a bit sheer on the first coat, so it is going to need 2. This one also has a good formula. I think this one is better than the last one. It does feel a little bit more solid on the nail. It's a tiny bit thicker, where I feel like the last one was a little bit on the thin side for me. This one is just about perfect. So here's 2 coats. This one covers completely in 2. This one and the last one, when I looked really closely at it to see if it covered completely, from some angles I thought that I saw the nail line, and then from other angles the shimmer was so strong that I could not see it at all. So I'm calling them both good on 2, but if you're super picky, or if you catch it in the right light, you might end up needing 3 on this one and on Tiffany. This one also dries matte, so you will want a top coat, and there are a good amount of brush strokes, again, in this one and the last one, when you're applying it, but those do disappear as it dries. So there is 2 coats of Alison. The next polish is called Claire, and this is kind of a dusty, like rosy pink with a very strong reddish gold shimmer. So here's one coat. I can see my nail line just a bit on this one on the first coat, so I'm going to do a second. This one, like the last one, has like a near perfect formula. No issues there at all. And again, same thing, a little bit of brush strokes, but those should disappear as it dries. So here's 2 coats, and this one covers completely in 2, and like I thought, those brush strokes did disappear as it dried. This one also dries a bit dull, so you will want a top coat. It's going to help that shimmer stand out really well. So there is 2 coats of Claire. The next polish is Alicia, and this is kind of a dusty orchid color with that reddish gold shimmer to it, or pinkish gold shimmer. This is not showing up as vibrant on camera as it is in person. So here's one coat. This one I can still see through a bit on the first coat, so I'm going to do a second. This one has a bit of a thinner formula like the first one did. It's not too thin by any means, it's just thinner than what I prefer. Like I said, I do prefer thicker formulas. I feel like this one could run a little bit down the sides of the nail if you weren't careful. So here's 2 coats. This one covers completely in 2, and it does deepen the color. It also dries matte, so you will want a top coat, and this one doesn't seem to have too many brush strokes even when it's wet. So there is 2 coats of Alicia. The next polish is called Jenn, and this is a deep kind of like reddy brown color with what almost looks like a slightly blue-green shimmer to it, and it's got these little larger, not large by any means, but larger little, they almost look like little flakies that kind of go in with the shimmer with the same kind of blue-green shift. So here's one coat. So this one covers really well on the first coat, just a little bit streaky. The formula on this one, like some of the others, is just near perfect. No real issues there at all. So here's 2 coats. This one covers completely in 2. The shimmer definitely does stand out in this one, but I think it stands out the least so far of any of them. This does dry matte, so you will definitely want a top coat to help that shimmer stand out. So there is 2 coats of Jenn. And the last polish is called Christy, and this is a navy blue with a pink shimmer. So here's one coat. This one is a little bit sheer on the first coat. It comes off as a bit more of a jelly. Formula, like most of the others, is just about perfect. The shimmer seems to stand out pretty well, but I don't think I'll know for sure until that second coat when it darkens. So here's two coats. This one covers completely in two and gets much darker. This does dry matte, so you will want a top coat to help the shimmer stand out. And the shimmer does stand out. It's not as shimmery as the first few. I'd say it's about the same as the last polish. It's not super strong, but it's definitely there. So there is two coats of Christy. So my favorite here is Claire, and I kind of picked a similar polish when I did the Holiday Sweaters collection from Native War Paints, because I just really, really like that gold, almost orangey looking shimmer with that warm, like pinky red color. And this is the same thing, and I absolutely love this. And I like that these are cheaper. I think you can get the whole set of 6 for like $30. So I will link the website down below where you guys can check those out. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.